Hey everyone, it's your boy Nissa. Today I'm back with finally reviewing Grima. I would have posted this yesterday, but my throat was really killing me. I'm still feeling the backlash of it, but still, here it is today. And I got some pretty decent builds for him. Some will be some cheaper options, and there are some more expensive options. So just try to find what caters to you. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at his stats. So his base stats are, his HP is 48, attack is 40, really good, I love that. His speed is 24, well he's an armored unit, so of course he's going to be slow. His defense is 35, alright, not the best, but not the worst. His res is 27, which could have been better, but he needs to have some sort of weakness besides just Elm and his Falchion, you know? So, what's great about it is his attack is a super boom. And his res is his super bang. So if you want to use him, I'd recommend going for, like, if you want to get the best stat total up to get higher up in the ranking, I recommend getting plus attack minus speed, plus attack minus HP. Mine currently is plus attack minus resistance, so during these builds you'll see him with the IV of plus attack minus resistance just because that's what I've been using. Okay, so let's take a look at his abilities. Expiration. It is a 16 might Dragonstone. The description for it is, if attacked, unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. So it's a 16 smite lightning breath without the +1 cooldown reduction, I believe. Also, if a foe's range is equal to 2, damage calculated using the lower of foe's defense resistance. So that only works if the foe's range is 2. So you cannot attack a melee unit, and if they have a higher res than defense, you will attack their defense. That doesn't happen. You will always hit their resistance, which is alright. I think it's really decent. He comes with the special Ignis, which is one of the best specials for him. You could downgrade to Bonfire, therefore it procs quicker, but still really good, especially with Vengeful Fighter on him. It allows him to, basically he'll proc it more often because of that. If you give him a Quick Impulse, it should make the cooldown reduction down to, for the first hit, it would only take like 2 hits in order to get your Ignis procced. So I think it's pretty good. B slot comes with Vengeful Fighter. We all know what the skill does. It was previously locked behind the Christmas units, some seasonal units, but now it's actually in the pool. So thank God for that. So you could get a couple of him and fodder them off to someone. But the one skill I was really glad to see was Ward Dragons. We're buffing Dragon Emblem and nerfing it at the same time, especially with the Falchion users being buffed. But we're getting things such as Ward Dragons, Hone Dragons. It's starting to make them better, and I'm glad to see this, honestly. I love Dragon Emblem, and I'm going to be running him on my team. Okay, well, looking at this, I made a mistake. I put Ether in instead of Ignis. So Ether's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be Ignis, Fury, Vengeful Fighter, and Ward Dragons. You can run this with any IV, I just don't recommend if he has plus speed or minus defense or minus attack. If you have plus res, plus HP, plus attack, and plus defense, you can run this with ease. I recommend doing so. The next build I have for you does take a skill from a 5-star unit, but it's a free unit that you can get, and I think it works really well with him. I've been running it on him, and whenever I have him by an ally which if you're playing either on an Armor Emblem team or a Dragon Emblem team, you're most likely going to be by an ally the entire time. So you can switch out his C skill to like Ward Ward Armor or Ward Dragon, whatever you want. A Armor ability or a Dragon ability are the best ones to have in that C slot, depending on what emblem you're running him on. So you're going to run Attack Defense Bond 3. This is a cheap, well, I wouldn't say cheap, but you get it from a Fjorm 5-star. We get we got a free Fjorm, so if you don't like her and you don't want to use her, you can sacrifice that. I don't recommend sacrificing her. If you have a spare from legendary banners, I recommend sacrificing that for her, for Grandma here. And your C slot, I recommend putting close defense 3 or distant defense 3. You can and this one I found works best with a minus speed or minus HP, plus attack or plus defense res. So if you're gonna be running that build, I recommend having those specific IVs. Okay, so these are the more expensive builds. The reason why I have these in the categories, either they take a seasonal unit or a 5-star that is hard to get it. So for the first build, we're gonna run Ether, Heavy Blade 3, Renewal 3, and Ward Dragons with Quick Ripitos 3. The reason why is this is because he has such a high attack set that Heavy Blade will always proc on everything. The Quick Ripitos is for when you get attacked or initiated on, which I recommend using him for that, like as a baiting tool. And Ether and Renewal are to continue to keep him alive and do extra damage with Ether. I think this is a really good build. I'd recommend running it with plus attack IV. You can also run with plus defense or plus resistance to try tank more hits from further away, but I'd say plus attack is the best one to go for here. The next build I got for you is it takes a 5-star unit from a seasonal event, which is why I put it on the more expensive list, because you have to sacrifice, I believe it was Christmas Crom, or Santa Crom, whatever you want to call him. It's Brazen Attack / Defense 3. The reason why I'm saying to run this is because you're going to get hit and you're going to take some damage. But you still have Vengeful Fighter up because of how good your defense is and how much HP you got. Especially if you have distant defense on. The Brazen Attack / Defense will boost your attack by 7 more, therefore you got 67 attack. And it'll boost your defense by 7 more, therefore you got 42 defense, I believe. So you're going to be tanking hits pretty well. Combine that with distant defense 3, so when you're procced by like a bow unit or something, you're going to have 40... Oh, I'm terrible at mental math. Crap. 48 defense, which is really good, so units that like have a brave weapon won't be able to really kill you or do anything to you unless they're special procs. And the final build I have for you is with running Warding, Stance, and Distant Defense. This is if you want to make him a mage counter. You don't want minus res. I told you guys before that I had them all set to minus res because that's what I have, but you don't want minus res for this. For this, I'd say have plus res or plus attack. Mainly plus resistance. Therefore, you're able to tank more hits from mages, and you can be a decent mage counter. You won't be great, but you'll be decent at it, especially with Warding, Stance and Distant Defense 3. You can kind of change it up to whatever you feel like, but those are the skills that I felt like would be great on him. I recommend you guys try to test it out, do a little bit of research, because he is a great unit. The only skill you have to give him is an A skill and a Sacred Seal. Once you give him those, he's gonna run rampant. Just try to find the right one for him, see what fits your playstyle, see what team he's on, and you'll find something great for him. We're gonna talk about a couple counters of his. Mainly, Alm is a huge counter, specifically because he's the green dragon unit, so he's gonna be hit hard by Alm. There are a couple builds that you can run that I'm not gonna go into. You can go look at some other videos online. I saw a couple, I forget exactly whose it was, but I'd recommend go looking for them. That you can build Grima to tank a hit from Alm and then kill him. It's hard to. You're gonna have to have the right IVs and the right skills, but you can. It's possible. But he's mainly just gonna destroy you. Then there are other Falchion users like Marth, Lucina, Crom. Because it's a Falchion, they're most likely gonna kill you, unless they don't have the right stats or IVs or the right skills. That's the only time you live. As for red mages, that's something else to look for. A Celica will destroy you. Tharja, Sanaki, all the great powerful red mages will take you down. Even some green mages will. Mainly looking at ones like Nino, Julia, her mother, what was her name? I don't know. But they'll take you down, especially the ones with Naga or Divine Naga. Anything that has effective against Dragon will most likely take you down. That is what you have to be fearful of. So always look out for that and just play it safe. You will be able to do massive amount of work if you can avoid those characters. In conclusion, Grima is a great unit. A unit that I recommend you pulling for. He has, I believe, 155 BSC if you get the plus boon with his attack, which is pretty darn high, and you're going to score a lot with that. A lot of his skills are expensive as well, therefore you're going to gain more from that. If you want to build into him with more expensive skills in his A slot, then you're going to hit a lot of good ranking in Arena. I recommend building him for an armor team, for a Dragon Emblem team, for either of those teams that you want. You could just make him that one armored unit on your regular team. He is a great unit all around. I recommend summoning for him. And if you don't like the character anyways, you can at least get rid of Vengeful Fighter or Ward Dragons. Still, I just recommend pulling him. It's the best thing for you to do. He's like power creeping. Okay, he's power creeping on Armor Emblem and Dragon Emblem. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I have for him. He's a great unit. I recommend you guys building him. So have a great day. Good luck on your pulls. I'll see you guys around.